A simple fix for 26 continues with strategic tips for getting out of debt. Here with all of the info is financial expert and host of my favorite podcast, So Money, is Farnoosh Torabi. Welcome, Farnoosh. Love having you on the show.
Where do we start?
Wow, where do we start? Well, look, debt is a huge problem right now in our country. About half of Americans are carrying it. Life is really expensive. So I want you to start by just taking a deep breath and prioritizing what you have, because it might be spread across credit cards, student loans, medical debt. We'll get to all of it. But the credit cards, my guess, is where you're going to have to focus the most, because it's the most expensive type of debt that we have. Highest interest rate. It's also revolving debt. So any minimum you're putting towards it, it's not going to make a dent. So you want to be able to pay minimums on everything. But when you have a little bit of extra, put it towards the credit cards. They're the most expensive debt.
Okay, so are there different methods that you like to sort of figure out what's there?
There's so many, but I'll boil it down to two. And this will depend on your personality.
Okay.
So if you like math and you're very technical, there's the there's what's called the avalanche method. So what you're going to do is you're going to line up all of your credit cards by highest interest rate to lowest interest rate and focus again on that highest interest rate card, again, the most expensive of your debts. Pay the minimums on everything, but when you have extra, focus on that highest card, put extra towards that principal. When that's out of the picture, move your way down. Then there's the snowball method. If you're like me and you need more sort of motivation to keep you through it, stamina, put all of your credit cards out there by lowest balance to highest balance.
Pick off the easy.
Pick off the easy, low-hanging fruit, lowest balance. You know, the studies find that actually gives us motivation to move on and complete the mission.
I'm a snowball.
You're
You're
snowball.
probably more of an avalanche.
I'm an avalanche.
Right.
What are balance transfer offers?
Okay, so this is a great strategy. It won't work for everybody. Typically, if you have good to great credit, like 680 credit score or higher, you might qualify for a balance transfer credit card. How it works is they'll give you a 0% interest rate for a period of time, a short window, 12 months to 18 months.
Okay.
So what people like to do is if you have a high balance card, you can transfer it over to this 0% balance card. Watch out, sometimes there are balance transfer fees, sometimes no fees, so shop around. And again, important that you pay off this balance before that expiration of 18 months, because then the rate goes up to about the market rate, which right now is over 20%. So you want to be careful.
Farnoosh knows me, and I see her
You're
smiling at
smiling
me because she knows that right now she starts talking about balances and percentages.
Do you want to do it together?
That I'm hearing,
More advice on how to get out of debt when we come back.
We're back with Farnoosh Torabi. She's teaching us how to get out of debt. Okay, what other types of debt? Like what about student loan debt, stuff
so
like that?
we got student loan debt, which is a big crisis in our country. We have car loans, of course. People are missing payments on their car loans. That's a big sign that people are struggling. So let's talk about student loans. So student loans, I want everyone to realize that we do have options. It's a big deal, but for federal student loans, and there's two types, right? Federal and private. Federal, you might qualify for income-based repayment. Now, this is when the government's like, okay, you're struggling, you don't have a job, for example, we'll peg the payment to a percentage of your income so it's more manageable. And you have to apply for this, but people often don't know and they miss that.
Okay.
For the private loans, I would look into consolidating the debts, maybe reducing the interest rate to lower your monthly payment. We know rates might be coming down this year.
You can negotiate that?
You might be able to negotiate that. And for all of the student loan debt, automate. Because when you do, the lenders, private and federal, will usually give you a discount on your interest rate for those automatic payments.
Okay.
Car loans, I would say if the interest rate is more than 8%, just keep paying it until that 3-year or 5-year term is over. And then we've got medical debt, which is a huge, huge burden in our country. A lot of people go into bankruptcy over medical debt. But a few things to keep in mind. One, a lot of times the bills have a lot of errors on them. So when that first bill arrives in the mail, don't rush to pay it off.
Right.
Talk to your physician. Question it. Negotiate. Negotiate. Our doctors, especially when you're going in for a procedure, talk to your doctor. Actually book an appointment ahead of time and say, I want to save money on this procedure. Let's talk about it. Are there ways to spread out the procedure to maximize my insurance? What are the codes? that we need to make sure we're filing so that this gets qualified for insurance, because your doctor is really there to not just give you the best health care, but also to watch out for your financial needs. But we have to speak up. They won't know. They can't read our minds.
Financial assistance or a credit counselor getting help with this?
Yes. 30% of Americans say they feel so overwhelmed by their debt. And for the rest of us, we don't got time.
Right.
Because this takes time, often calling to negotiate. So across the country, there are not-for-profit agencies. That's the operative word, not-for-profit. They will hook you up with a certified credit counselor. The first meeting is free. They're in all sorts of zip codes across the country, virtual and in person. The first meeting is free. They assess your budget. And if you qualify, they'll say, look, we have a debt management program where over the course of a year or two, again, not get out of debt quick, we'll be your advocates. We'll call the creditors on your behalf. We'll lower the interest rates for you if we can and get rid of the fees so that over time, people have found a lot of success working with credit counseling agencies.
What if you come into some money like a tax refund?
Use it or lose it. Use it. Especially now we're heading towards tax refund season. Maybe if you're lucky, you get a bonus at work or you get an inheritance. I'm not saying use all of it towards your debt. I don't want to, deprive people of being able to enjoy that money, but say 50%, commit 50% to put it towards the debt.
Being out of debt is pretty enjoyable, though.
I
Wouldn't you
mean,
say the freedom of that?
It is. And honestly, after now 10, 11 years of hosting so many people I've talked to who've gotten out of debt, what it comes down to is making these adjustments in our lives. Yes, you can do all of these things that I just talked about, but one big adjustment, whether that's a windfall or really reducing your expenses or moving your lifestyle, shifting your lifestyle around, right? Getting uncomfortable for a little bit, but a lifetime of happiness as a result.
Yeah. Thank you. Check out Farnoosh's podcast, So Money, and for these tips, go to our website. We'll be right back.